Tom Selleck was born on January 29, 1945, in Detroit, Michigan. His family wasn't rich, and they later moved to Sherman Oaks, California. Growing up in Southern California after World War II, Tom loved sports, especially basketball. He thought he would become a basketball player. He went to the University of Southern California and played for their team called the USC Trojans while studying business. Back then, Tom never thought about becoming an actor, but his life was about to change. A drama teacher at USC told him he should try acting. After taking some classes and appearing in TV commercials, including famous Pepsi commercials in the 1960s, Tom discovered he loved being in front of cameras. He was tall, charming, and handsome, which helped him start what would become an amazing career in TV and movies. Tom's first years as an actor were tough, but he never gave up. He appeared on several TV shows in the 1960s and 1970s, including The Dating Game and The Rockford Files. These were small parts, but they helped him learn how to act better and meet important people in Hollywood. One of the biggest moments early in his career was meeting James Garner, who became his teacher and friend. Tom also tried out for big movie roles, but many times he didn't get them. One famous example was when he auditioned to play Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Arkansas. Even though George Lucas and Steven Spielberg liked him, he couldn't do it because he was already busy with his breakthrough TV show. The big moment in Tom Selleck's career happened in 1980 when he got the lead role of private detective Thomas Magnum in the hit CBS show Magnum P.I. With his colorful Hawaiian shirts, cool Ferrari sports car, and famous mustache, Tom became super popular in the 1980s. The show lasted 8 seasons, and Tom won an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe Award. Magnum P.I. didn't just make money, it let Tom create one of the most memorable TV characters ever. He was cool but tough, funny but also real. Fans loved the action and mysteries in the show, but they also loved how Tom made the character warm, funny, and believable. His performance was so good that even today, when people think about TV detectives, they often remember Thomas Magnum. Tom didn't just stick to TV. He also acted in movies during the 1980s and 1990s. One of his biggest movies was 3 Men and a Baby in 1987. It was a comedy that made tons of money and showed that Tom could do more than just action roles. He also appeared in westerns like Quigley Down Under in 1990, which showed his love for cowboy movies and proved his tough guy style fit perfectly with classic Hollywood westerns. These movies proved Tom could be funny and serious. In his later years, Tom kept working in Hollywood by changing with the times and taking on roles that matched his age and experience. Since 2010, he has played Frank Reagan in the long-running CBS police show Blue Bloods. As the head of a family of New York police officers, Tom has brought respect, strength, and deep emotion to the role, earning praise from critics and fans. His work on this show has become another defining moment in his career, proving he's one of the longest-lasting TV stars ever. From 1971 to 1982, Tom Selleck was married to Jacqueline Ray, a beautiful model whose fashion career made her famous in the late 1960s and early 1970s. They were married for over 10 years, and during that time, Tom made an important personal choice. He decided to legally adopt Jacqueline's young son, Kevin Shepard, who was born in 1966 from her previous relationship. This adoption showed how responsible Tom was and how much he wanted to give his family a stable life, even though his Hollywood career was getting busier. Kevin grew up with his mother and stepfather, surrounded by the exciting world of Hollywood in the 1970s, when Tom's career was just starting to take off. Kevin later found his own path in life by choosing music. He became a professional drummer and eventually became successful as part of the American rock band Tonic. The band became famous in the 1990s with popular songs that made them part of the mainstream alternative rock scene. While Kevin made his own way, Tom's adoption and support when Kevin was young clearly gave him a strong foundation to follow his artistic dreams. After divorcing Jacqueline Ray, Tom's personal life led him across the ocean to Europe, where he met the woman who would become his life partner. On August 7, 1987, Tom Selleck married Gilly Joan Mack, a British actress and dancer born in 1957. They met by chance. Tom was in London for work and went to see the musical Cats, one of the most popular shows at that time. That's where he saw Gilly, who was performing in the show, and he was immediately drawn to her charm and presence. What started as a lucky meeting turned into a romance. Even though Tom was becoming more famous in America and Gilly had her own career in Britain, they built a strong relationship. Their wedding ceremony was kept pretty private, showing that Tom liked to keep his personal life away from Hollywood cameras. Their marriage has lasted, full of real friendship and respect for each other. Together, Tom and Jilly had their only child, Hannah Margaret Selleck, born on December 16, 1988. Unlike many celebrity kids who become actors or singers, Hannah chose something completely different. She loved horses and horse riding from a young age, partly because of the open spaces and nature where she grew up. Over the years, Hannah became a successful and well-respected competitive horse rider, representing her family with grace and discipline around the world. Tom has often talked proudly about Hannah's success, admiring her hard work and determination to follow her passion in a sport that requires both physical strength and mental toughness. The Selleck family made their home in Southern California, choosing to live in a peaceful and large setting instead of the busy Hollywood neighborhoods. They live on a 60-acre avocado ranch in Hidden Valley near Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, California. The property has some Hollywood history because it was once owned by the legendary entertainer Dean Martin, and it gave the Seelicks both privacy and a connection to the land. Unlike many actors who fill their homes with expensive luxury items, Tom got involved in the everyday work of ranch life. The avocado trees, dirt roads, and open fields gave him not just a getaway, but a place where he could physically work with the world around him. In a 2012 interview with People magazine, Tom spoke honestly about how much he enjoyed taking care of the ranch. He explained that for him, hard physical work on the land felt much better than spending hours in a gym. "I like to get outside and work on the ranch, from fixing roads to clearing brush," he said, explaining how the outdoor work kept him grounded. With his typical sense of humor, he added, "I hate going to the gym, so sweating outdoors sure beats sitting on a stationary bike staring at my navel." This quote showed his practical and down-to-earth personality, and also showed how Tom embraced simple living despite being famous. He even joked that he worked cheaper than anyone he could hire, showing his strong work ethic and the pride he felt in personally taking care of his home. For Tom, the ranch is more than just property. It represents a lifestyle choice and a way of thinking. It gives him balance against the often crazy world of Hollywood, giving him a place to relax and be himself away from cameras and scripts. His life on the ranch with Jilly and Hannah shows his devotion to family, privacy, and being real values that have helped him maintain both a long-lasting career and a stable personal life in an industry where that's rare. At age 80, Tom Selleck has reached a point in life where looking back feels natural and important. After decades of respectfully staying quiet, he has finally chosen to speak openly about one of the most important influences in his life and career, James Garner. For years, Tom carefully avoided talking much about Garner, afraid that his words wouldn't capture the huge respect and thankfulness he felt. But now, with the wisdom of a long and successful career, he's ready to share the truth. His truth about the man he considered not just a coworker but a teacher, a role model, and ultimately a friend. Tom remembers that his admiration for Garner started long before they ever worked together. Like millions of Americans, Tom grew up watching Maverick in the 1950s, where Garner showed a natural, relaxed charm that made him different from the tough, serious cowboys of that time. Unlike many actors who seemed stuck playing one type of character, Garner had a gift for mixing toughness with charm, a dry sense of humor with genuine warmth. To Tom, Garner represented something rare in Hollywood: authenticity. He wasn't an actor trying to be larger than life. He was a man who acted so sincerely that audiences believed in him right away. That early admiration turned into a life-changing opportunity in the 1980s when Tom, already famous as Thomas Magnum on Magnum P.I., acted alongside Garner in the Rockford Files, Friends and Foul Play, and later worked with him on other projects. Tom admits he was nervous before they first met, worried that the famous TV icon might be cold or dismissive. Instead, Garner immediately made him feel comfortable with warmth, humor, and humility. "Jim didn't have a phony bone in his body," Tom has said. "He treated everybody from the director to the guy holding the boom microphone with the same level of respect. That taught me more about being a professional than any acting class ever could." Tom has also shared that Garner's influence went far beyond professional behavior. During long days on set, Garner became someone Tom could talk to, giving advice not just on how to act, but on how to survive in an industry that often destroys its stars. Garner warned him about the dangers of fame, ego, entitlement, and the temptation to give up your integrity for success. He encouraged Tom to stay grounded, reminding him that no role, no paycheck, and no burst of publicity was worth sacrificing who you are as a person. These lessons stayed with Tom, who has often credited Garner with helping him get through Hollywood without losing himself. But perhaps the deepest truth Tom finally admits at 80 is how personally grateful he feels to Garner for shaping the kind of man he wanted to be. Watching Garner's career, Tom saw that it was possible to be both a star and a family man, both admired on screen and loved off-screen. Garner's long marriage to his wife Lois Clark inspired Tom to make his own family life a priority, even when he was most famous. When Tom stepped away from Magnum PI to spend more time with his wife Jilly and their daughter Hannah on their California ranch, it was in many ways a decision based on Garner's example of choosing love and stability over the never-ending pressure of Hollywood. Looking back, Tom doesn't hold back about how much Garner's friendship meant to him personally. The two men shared a bond built on humor, mutual respect, and a shared understanding of what it meant to carry the weight of a hit TV series. Garner, who dealt with his own health problems and career frustrations, often gave perspective when Tom felt overwhelmed by the demands of fame. He had this way of cutting through your worries with a laugh or a story, Tom remembers. Jim could make you feel like everything was going to be all right, even when the pressure was unbearable. Now, as Tom reflects on his own legacy, he admits that part of it is connected to Garner's. He sees Garner not just as a mentor, but as a mirror, someone who showed him what kind of actor and what kind of man he wanted to become. Garner's generosity, humor, and humanity left a mark that Tom carries with him to this day. By finally speaking so openly, Tom hopes that others will understand how important Garner's presence was in his life. "I owe him more than I can ever repay," Tom admits. "The truth is James Garner set the standard for everything I've tried to be. And at 80, I can honestly say I'm still trying to live up to it."